Yeah, I think the process is quite unified. That you understand what the scope of the work is, what the systems are, what the endpoints are, which like what the type of assets these are, and then do all the stages like reconnaissance, enumeration, and scanning and looking for vulnerabilities specific for this kind of application on this device or something like that, and then try to exploit that and get an actual result. So yeah, the process is quite standardized, and we use the same process. Yeah, that's a good question. I took this 5 years ago, so I don't remember exactly what was there. And I was already not new to the industry. It was good, to systemize knowledge. Of course, I learned a lot about the how the process should look like, which stages they are there, and how to approach each stage and which tools, like port scanning and identifying vulnerabilities, and then exploit them, get results, write reports, and all this basic stuff. Yeah, I mean, security is the process, and it's good to be ready for that, and it's good to do this on the preventive manner. So I think that if organization really cares about security, it should do it often and continuously. There are a lot of mechanics already how to do that on the continuous manner, have monitoring tools and preventive mechanisms, alerting, and a lot of stuff. So I think that I know that security is one of the top risks for any businesses. We've seen a lot of business crashes because of cybersecurity, because of breaches, because of hacks, and because and the company is paying a lot of money for this vulnerabilities. And I think that it's very important to organize cybersecurity in that way that minimize the risks of any business damage. And so we know that nowadays cybersecurity is not only about business and internet, as we have Internet of Things, for example. It's already about physical world where could be damage, physical damage. So I think that all organizations should be ready for that, do this in advance, and do this in the continuous manner. Monitor, like scanning of vulnerabilities, scanning and preventing exploitation of these vulnerabilities on the constant manner for the whole infrastructure and the all products they have. I think what can be automated should be automated and reduce the amount of manual work, because I think that the most important what ethical hackers do, they use their brain, their creativity, how to find unusual ways to exploit systems, how to find these doors where they can knock and get something out of that. So I think there should be a balance to that degree where when it could be automated, it should be automated, and then do interesting job, because hacker's mind and hacker thinking is about creativity as well. It's a lot about creativity, and I think that's where most of the time should be dedicated, because what's the difference between human and machines? That we have like brain and the creativity, and we can use this for getting something new that machines cannot do. Of course, now we have AI that we can train, to have all this historical data to prevent future vulnerabilities and minimize the work. But I still think that business logic testing is very important, and we can't automate this in a creative way. Of course, we can automate a lot, but I think that should be really the focus on human time for something that machines can do. I think it's just accepting them, that they exist and they would be, and it's good that we can identify everything possible, and then using our brain somehow systemize it and mark this as false positives and move on. That's why there are like, you do first vulnerability scanning and then review these vulnerabilities manually to remove false positives. And as I mentioned, like with AI, I'm pretty sure that this the percentage of false positives would be less and less if we train the system correctly. So dealing this review and trying to aggregate all the knowledge you got about the system, about your like personal experience, and try to minimize this additional work for future. Yeah, I mean, depends on the type of the systems, but I think Burp Suite, Nmap, Nessus, and these tools like that for application security level is good. That's what commonly used. And if we are talking, for example, about smart contract security, what where we're most focusing on is about Mistral, Slither, and some custom-made tools, which is quite new on the market, but still getting more and more. And also, we develop a lot our internal tooling that we use for smart contract auditing and the app auditing, and also we do a lot of fuzzing tools for like layer one protocol audits. So in our industry, it's still quite relatively new. So we either use some open source or develop it internally. And as for like web applications, mobile applications, we use like commonly known tools.